Hello there, YouTubers. This is another episode of Podcast Episode 5. And yes, I have another member of the YWC. Go for it, dude.
It is Tony here. Thank you for having me, Ryan.
Anytime, Tony. And tell everyone on YouTube, what do you do on YouTube?
Well, on my Rated R Viper 1 channel, I do wrestling theme songs for TNA and WWE, and then on my other channel, The Wrestling Talent, I only have a couple videos up, but it's podcasts based off of mainly WWE, so I will be doing some TNA videos shortly, so stay tuned for that.
Yes, so if you need any theme songs, get a hold of him and he will do that for you. Right,
Yes.
Tony?
Yes.
Okay, first thing we are going to discuss is about today was John Cena's birthday. How old is the dude anyway, Tony?
I believe he's 36 or 37 around there.
He is in very good shape, isn't he?
Yes, he is.
Now, speaking of John Cena, he recently got divorced. Is that why was he like up and down roller coaster with him last season? I mean, last year. I'm sorry.
Yeah, what do you call it? The whole divorce thing kind of was like they used that for the Rock, him and the Rock storyline or whatever. But the main reason he got divorced because apparently his wife thought he was cheating on her or whatever, but which he wasn't. But she divorced him for that or whatever. So I guess he is fine with it. But
Oh,
you know what? I guess all the Fruit Loop troops out there, John Cena's fans, are gonna be basically marking out because it's his birthday. But whatever. Happy birthday, Cena.
yeah, happy birthday! The champ is out here. Speaking of Cena, he has a brand new shirt with the um belt on a shirt. He did that a couple years ago, '05. So what's your thoughts on this? It's like the same thing but a different belt.
It's whatever. I guess it's just some like something to sell some more merch again. Like they do it every. Seems like they do this every 6 months or 4 months. They give them a new shirt, brand new shirt, just to sell some merch for all the kids out there. So
Yep,
it's kind of just make money.
yep, that's all it is. Okay, another thing I want to discuss is about the Shield. Now, I love the Shield, you like the Shield, and a lot of members of the YTWC love the Shield. Now, some people don't like the Shield. They think they're freaking alright. Now, there's a lot of rumors go around. There might be a fourth member. Maybe Randy Orton, maybe a Big Show, Ryback, Punk, Cena. Yeah, right. So, what's your thoughts? Would you like to see a fourth member or just three members of the Shield, Tony?
Well, let's just say I would like to see a fourth member because we've had the three members of the Shield for a while now, about 4 or 5 months around there, so almost six or six. I don't even know. I'm not counting, but uh, it's time, I guess, and in my opinion, it's time for a change. To add a new guy to the group, and you know what? I'm hoping that it might be please WWE do the right thing and turn Orton heel, have him reveal himself as the leader of the Shield, or like a leader or the member, mainly the leader, because he's leading these young guys. He's doing something that he was once part of Evolution. Like Triple H brought him in, so he brought the Shield into WWE, and then basically he mentored them and everything, and from there and all that shit, and then they go from there or whatever. So it's kind of Orton kind of had the same thing when he was brought into the company or whatever. So I like to see Orton, maybe, or even when Punk comes back or something. But I like to see Orton finally turn heel. This would be a good way for him to do it.
Yeah, and he needs a new fresh because he is so fucking boring, isn't he, Tony? Jesus.
Yeah, he's even boring in the games.
Yeah, isn't
So
he? I don't. This guy just. Now, when he was a young guy back in '04 or younger, it was fun to watch him on TV. Just now, he's lately, so he's like snooze fest, Jesus.
yeah, when he won the belt against Benoit, oh, I said Benoit, oops, sorry. But when he won the belt against Benoit at SummerSlam, I liked him around that. Got his first title run and everything, I liked him. Even even in '08 when he was like a heel, punting everybody in the head, I liked the guy. But it's just when he turned face, I even liked him. But after this, he's been face for a while, and he's just the way every time he's ready to do an RKO or any kind of move, do you see he always has to make an expression on his face instead of just doing the move. He's always got to look like a retard, but that's his gimmick. So
Yep. I don't know if he likes doing it or the creators told him to, hey, Rennie, do it or you're fucking fired.
yeah, or he did it for the money.
It's gotta be the money. Do you really think
Yeah.
these wrestlers do it for the fans? Hell no. Maybe
No,
they
no.
do.
Probably Cena. That's it.
Maybe they do. Maybe not. Now,
No.
speaking of wrestlers, if anyone have not seen the newest Zack Ryder video, you're not missing much. He recently turned heel. He made a big scene and he got squashed this past Monday night on Raw. So, Tony, what's your thoughts on this?
Oh, well, Zach, I hope you enjoyed your 5 seconds of fame. So it's pretty much over with. So, I mean, hopefully you get released. Just they release them. They don't need to do spring cleaning because they're not going to this year. But I hope they just release the guy. I don't like him. Tell you the truth, I really never liked the guy. I just never been a fan of Ryder. He's never got he's never got my attention really. He's never done nothing big in his career. The only thing he probably will be remembered for is I guess in a way he had an okay feud with Ziggler, but the only thing he'll be remembered for is being one of the Edge heads. If anybody even remembers that though, so
Probably not.
no, so
But he had a great a build up sort of in 2011. But after that, once again, Dewey just dropped the ball like usual.
yeah.
Okay, another thing I want to discuss. I know it's on Wrestling Talks, maybe before, but Regal. Now, Regal been asking for a world title shot. Of course, it's not gonna happen. I'd really like to see that happen before he hang up his freaking boots. So, Tony, what's your thoughts on this?
Well, William Regal asking for a title shot. He should have done that maybe 10 years ago or so when he was still in shape. When he was still I mean, don't get me wrong, he can still fight or whatever, wrestle a match, but he's not as good as he used to be back when he was when he was younger or whatever, before he got he aged and everything. I mean, that's like saying Finlay wants a world title shot or something if he came back or something. But Finlay actually is one of the guys that work backstage. If you did not know that, I've seen him a couple times when they've had to break up a fight on Raw or SmackDown. But you know what, Regal, it ain't gonna happen. They're too busy giving Cena all these other guys belts. So yeah.
Yeah, it's so sad. Another thing is, this past midnight, W was in the UK, and I guess the crowd was sort of into it, not like the crowd the day after WrestleMania. So, Tony, what's your thoughts on this?
The crowd was up there, but not like you pointed out, not as much as the crowd after Mania, but the crowd was still good. And hell, I was kind of disappointed Raw was taped, but whatever. What are you gonna do about it? I mean, I didn't read the spoilers, so it's not like I'm gonna bitch about it and say, "Oh, this is a crappy show." I watched it, and you know what? I kind of missed some of it, but I watched it on YouTube, the WWE YouTube page or whatever, and it was an okay show. I mean, it wasn't the best, but seeing Taker and Triple H and guys like that on it was kind of cool to see them on there.
Yeah, another thing is, do you have like an iPad or something that you could get backstage of the Raw stuff? Do you have that, Tony?
Is that only on a iPad and Android or something? Or
Yeah, and nothing on a cell phone if you have the internet on your phone too. Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, I do have internet on my phone. I recently got a new cell phone, so.
Well, that's cool. Now I bought it for my mom, my sister, and it's so awesome because you could actually, when the Raw's on commercial, you could actually use it, and it's a very awesome tool. I think that's the best invention we ever came out with. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay, another thing I want to discuss, we're going to discuss about superhero movies. Now, the biggest superhero movie coming out to kick off the summer is Iron Man 3. So, Tony, what's your quick thoughts on Iron Man 3?
Well, I am very much looking forward to this movie. I am a fan of the first two, and I was a fan of Iron Man, Tony Stark, and the Avengers, and I'm a big fan of Iron Man. He's not my favorite hero. That would be Captain America. But Iron Man 3, basically, it takes place after the events of the Avengers, and Tony Stark's trying to, get himself back into the game or whatever, kind of like rebuild his life and everything, because Avengers kind of tore him up there a little bit, but from there, he gets attacked or whatever, and his home or whatever gets attacked by the Mandarin, played by Ben Kingsley or whatever. The Mandarin looks like a badass villain, and all this shit. And just the way he talked in the trailer, like the way you could hear it, just a couple of seconds he talked was pretty badass, just to hear him talk or whatever. But basically, in the trailer, shows all kinds of crazy ass Iron Man suits going down and shit going down in this movie. I'm looking forward to the movie. I am a fan of the first two, like I said before. My second one is the favorite. I just like that one. the first one was good as well. So I hope the third one follows in the footsteps.
I totally agree. I love Iron Man. The guy who plays Iron Man, Tony Stark's awesome. Now you forgot to mention about the update about the guy who played Tony Stark's. So
Well,
go for it.
well, RDJ, Robert Downey Jr. Most likely, from what there's been a talk about is that this might be his last role as Tony Stark, aka Iron Man, because he's getting up there in age. He'll be turning 50 pretty soon, I believe, this year, and he's getting burned out doing all these stunts and everything. They are kind of action-packed stunts and all this, and there's a lot that goes with all this shit as an actor playing this kind of environment, and. He's been talking about it, and people want him to stay as Iron Man because he makes the character, which I agree he does make the character, but it is what it is. So you know what? And he has had personal issues in the past, so we all know that his demons, but he overcame those demons. And I hope he stays around to at least play Iron Man, Tony Stark, in the Avengers too.
I agree with that. It's the same thing we had in the original Spider-Man. Tobey Maguire did all three. Then they part ways. Then they made another one, and this guy is a perfect one. Now a lot of people don't like this Spider-Man movie because it's not the original cast, but everyone is picky. No one can be happy. You know what I'm saying, Tony?
Yeah, I love the new Spider-Man that came out last year, the Amazing Spider-Man. And Andrew Garfield did a good job playing Peter Parker, aka Spider-Man, and I like this movie. I like the Amazing Spider-Man way better. I liked it better than all three of the Spider-Mans put together. This movie is better than all three of those put together, in my opinion. And Tobey Maguire, the whole reason with him is he got older and they didn't give him as much money as he wanted, so he said, "I'm out of here." He was in talks to play Spider-Man for the reboot, I guess you could say. This is kind of a reboot because in the original Spider-Mans, it did the first one, it didn't really tell that much about his childhood or whatever. But in this one, they kind of explained it and they did a very good job with it, everything. But yeah, it wouldn't have mattered because he's up there. Who do you see for Peter Parker? And he's in high school and everything. The original one, he was in college actually, so. They started him off in college. They didn't even start him off in high school. So I mean, they did a good job with this. They started from him as being in high school and not in college.
Oh, I thought the first one was. Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, because he went to the professional good stuff.
The lab, yeah.
So they kind of effed it up on that, but whatever. Another movie
They fixed it. So.
Yeah, another movie I want to discuss is about Wolverine. Now I love Wolverine. Everyone, even the X-Men. Now I know you're not a big fan of the one that just came out recently, the Wolverine movie, correct?
X-Men Origins Wolverine.
Yeah. Why don't you not like it? Tell all of your opinion on that movie.
Well, it just to me it seemed like they were basically they were focusing this like it should have been mainly focused. It was focused on what do you call it, Logan, aka Wolverine or whatever. But in a way, they were focusing on the other X-Men. This should have just, even though it's called X-Men Origins, but see, X-Men Origins, that's the origin. They're just talking about Wolverine's origin as an X. They should have just kept with, like, the story on Wolverine, like they're doing with this one. This new one is coming out. I just didn't like, I mean, if they were gonna, it should have just been called, like, X-Men 4 or something, X-Men 4, like, with Wolverine or something like that, because it's just, like, it seems like, they should have, just had it based on being Wolverine as the main character. And this one they had like his brother, and they had a bunch of other X-Men's in there. I just would like to see this like kind of just the story of Wolverine. I mean, in a way it was, but not the way I envisioned it to see it as. So
Yep, I totally agree. I love superhero movies. Speaking of superhero movies, one more we're gonna discuss is about Thor. And the first one was awesome, so they decided to make a second one. No, my viewers, it's not coming out this summer, this fall. So, Tony, what's your thoughts on this one?
Well, the reason that they're making this actually is because I mean they've planned the Thor 2 whatever, and they're making sequels to all the other they're making sequels to the other like super movies from like the past couple of years or whatever that they made. But the reason it's kind of like because if you remember in the first Thor, he told the Jane, the girl he was in love with from Earth, that he'd be back. And in this one, in the trailer, it says that he says that he'll be back, and he does appear on Earth again, and he tells her that he's back. And I'm glad to see that. I was a big fan of the first one. A lot of people didn't like it. I don't know why, but whatever. It's their opinion. But I like this movie. I'm looking forward to it, and I'm a big fan of Thor. Not my favorite hero, but I am a big fan of him, and looks to be a great movie. It's glad to see Loki back in there. So Loki's one of my favorite villains. So and also, before we finish out the video, though, we forgot Man of Steel, but we'll get to that.
Oh yeah. Speaking of that, Man of Steel, thanks, Tony. I was gonna say it right now, but
Sorry.
it's okay. We all know that Superman have a long history, even in the 70s. A lot of people didn't like the 70s because it's so out of date, but I love that movie. Hopefully I get the box set down the road. So far, he's the best Superman right now, currently. I don't give a shit what anybody says, and that's the bottom line because Rai said so. Oh, Team Rai. So what's your thoughts on the newest Superman movie, Man of Steel, Tony?
Well, it looks pretty damn badass. Just watching the trailer, I mean, it just what do you call it? It just basically starts off showing off Clark Kent's. Well, not Clark Kent like it is a kid, but like you know what I mean. But I'll just say it. But it shows off his Superman's. Shows him as a baby or whatever, and then he's sent to Earth or whatever, I believe, by his parents. And then he's adopted or found by this family, and they raise him up, and he just has to kind of what do you call it? He kind of has to learn his powers and learn how to keep them under control and all that, and stay in balance or intact with the people on Earth or whatever, and all that. And from there, he kind of gets his ass in trouble, and for some reason, he's just misunderstood. I should say that, and the police or the SWAT team or whatever they are, they take him in, and from there it just goes from there and all that. But I don't know if there's gonna be a villain in there. I hope there is a villain in the movie. I hope Lex Luthor is in here. So
Yeah, another thing is, I don't know if anyone seen my tweets back in the day, but my original PS3 got destroyed or broke. So Tony, I'm not very good at explaining her. So tell all the viewers what's going on with my original PlayStation.
uh, well, his original PlayStation had the yellow light of death, and he basically bought He bought a new PS3 from eBay, and the owner or whatever kept it like on there for somebody else to buy and didn't take it down. So that's pretty much the story to sum it up.
Yeah, but my viewers, I did get my money back from PayPal, so thank God for PayPal.
Great.
Hopefully my friend Tony hooked me up. I mean, he found one on eBay for a good price. I'm not gonna discuss it because it's no one's business. Sorry,
Yeah.
but it's good. Hopefully I get it. And I had not played my PlayStation over a month, so that really sucks. And so that's the latest update about my PlayStation. So if I get it back, get my new one. I still got my old memory card for my old PlayStation. Hopefully, I just got to pop it in and update it, and I won't lose any of my contacts. Hopefully that's the case. Anything you want to say before we end this interview, Tony?
Well, this year's looking bright for the future of superhero movies. We got a shitload of superhero movies coming out this year. I mean, you got Iron Man 3, Man of Steel, The Wolverine, and I'll say Kick Ass 2, but that's kind of more like a rated R kind of thing going on, not like PG 13 or anything. But Kick Ass 2 is kind of a superhero movie in a way, but looking forward to that too. And then we got Thor The Dark World, or Thor 2. But yeah, so subscribe to both my channels, The Rated R Viper 1 and The Wrestling Talent, and follow me on Twitter at The Rated R Viper 1.
Yeah, hold up, wait a minute. We forgot one more superhero movie. It's called Captain America. I know they're gonna make a number two, but now the first one is awesome. So what's your thoughts on this? I know this is your favorite superhero movie. So go ahead, Tony, real quick before we end this interview.
Well, Captain America, speaking of Captain America, is my favorite superhero. I just like him because he represents our country and the USA and all that kind of stuff. But I was a fan of the first one, and the second one, it looks. I haven't seen the trailer, but I mean, I've seen pictures for it, and it looks badass. Apparently, It's called Captain America: The Winter Soldier, and the Winter Soldier is basically Bucky Barnes, the guy from the first one, his partner or whatever, partner in crime. We all thought he died, but apparently he gets resurrected or whatever, revived by the Russians, and they turn him into assassin, and he's trying to kill Captain America now. So
Oh
he
wow.
was a good guy turned bad now. So yeah,
So that's his rival, huh?
yep.
Oh wow. Now the first Captain America, I don't care what anybody says. The first part was very slow. Like most of the first movies are slow. You know what I'm saying?
Agreed. I thought it was really slow and boring, but around it started. You know, they kind of what do you call it? They got the action going around in the middle, and it kind of made it a good movie. And I must say also, I'm not a big fan of war movies or any kind of tip, but like that. But this movie kind of changed my opinion on that because just how good it was. Like because it was kind of based on the war and all that shit. And also, Captain America was a badass in the Avengers. He led the Avengers to victory, I must say.
And the guy who plays Captain America, he played a good part. And
Chris
he's also from Fantastic Four, one or
Chris
two.
Evans.
Yeah, that's one. Hopefully they make a remake of Fantastic Four.
They're
But
planning on it.
oh, they are.
Yes.
Hopefully it's a better job than the ones they in the past.
Yeah, and also, I'm just gonna point this out. If it's okay with you.
Yeah, go for it real quick.
Okay. Well, what do you call it? The next movie after Captain America is going to be Guardians of the Galaxy. That'll be the last movie before Avengers 2 is made. And Guardians of the Galaxy is basically I'm new to it too, but I kind of read up and everything. It's basically about these what do you call like superheroes that are on a certain planet or something, and they basically are like defending their own planet from like bad guys, villains or whatever, like that, like kind of like villains that are up on that planet or whatever. But that'll be the last movie leading to Avengers 2, and Avengers 2 comes out May 1st, 2015, I believe. I think it is in May. Yeah, May 1st, 2015. Avengers. We have to wait 2 more years, I believe.
Damn, that's a long time. One more thing we're gonna discuss. One more thing about wrestling. Do you think Punk, when he's I know he's out of the action, do you think it's hurting the WWE right now, or do you think they're okay right now?
I think it's hurting them, but if they keep bringing in, letting these older guys like Lesnar, wrestle a couple more matches, a couple more pay per views, and Taker wrestles a couple more times, if he's okay with it. I don't think it's that much. It's not like they're asking him to wrestle a full schedule. Then I think everything will be fine. And then when Punk returns, maybe reveal himself as the member, like the leader of the Shield, or just come up with a new storyline. Maybe him and Christian can feud, or he feuds with a guy that comes back to WWE by that time, RVD, if he gets his shit together and comes back sober. If not, he'll go back to TNA and with all those other drug addicts over
Yep,
there.
smoke out weefers like Jack Swagger. That's why Jack Swagger will never become world champion right now because he's in a total mess. He had to go to court and all that. Yeah, he really fucked up because he was on the road to WrestleMania. He won Elimination Chamber, number one contender, and he freaking blew it.
And WWE was planning to put the belt on him at Mania.
Yep. So.
Good job, Swagger.
Yeah. See, I guess every wrestler goes through this mess. I'm sorry, Steven Breeze. I know you support the dude, but I don't know. I'm not really bashing you, Steve, but I am not a Jack Swagger fan. I'm not a big fan. I don't have a one certain wrestler that I support, but I'm not. I don't know. If you guys think I'm bashing him, that's okay. But he's not really proved me nothing in the ring yet. But maybe I'm just drinking a Kool-Aid totally wrong. But I'd like to see Kurt Angle versus CM Punk. That'd be a dream match. I don't think that match is ever gonna take place. Never.
Yeah, I don't think so either. But you never know; it's a possibility.
Or another dream match. I love to see. I know a lot of members like to see Sting versus Taker.
Oh hell yeah! I wanted to see that in 2011, but no, Sting had to re-sign with TNA.
Okay, that's it for this interview. I'm here finally. Hopefully, this podcast goes up. I tried twice tonight, and if not, I'll try again in the future. Okay, that's it for me, Team Rai Rai. You want to say goodbye, Tony?
Goodbye, everybody, and have a very nice night.
Ciao, and the champ is out here. Thank
Later.
God. I'm out here.